Okay, so welcome back everyone to the 101 Questions of AI. And today we're going to talk about the intersection of business and artificial intelligence. So, as probably a lot of you would know, in business, there's the CEO, which is the Chief Executive Officer, which heads the business and at the end of the day makes the core and major decisions for the company. Apart from that, in the new age of technology and of AI, there has been a new role, which is the Chief Information Officer. And today, Luca is going to tell us about the Chief Information Officer. Luca?
Yeah, look, there is now a lot of data, a lot of enthusiasm around AI, and a lot of opportunities. So the role of the Chief Information Officer obviously is an executive role, but it is really focused on the management and implementation and usability of information and computer technology within the company. So it's very, very specific and has has a very specific focus on data.
Yes. Okay. So apart from the CIO, we have also heard about companies having a chief technology officer. Can you clarify what is the difference between a CIO and a CTO?
Absolutely. And thanks for asking, Michelle. This is an important distinction because a chief technology officer is the person that ultimately is taking care of the product. And it is much more focused on the team that is making sure the product is hitting the market in the right way, that the product is supported in the right way and developed. It is a role that can essentially do the link or implement a link between third-party providers, technology providers, and the company. It is very, very focused on let's say the outside world more than the chief information officer that is instead more centered on the data of the company, manages the internal technical infrastructure and processes that are related to data and information. Obviously, it could oversee the IT and the operation department, but this is not a given. I mean, it could cooperate with the chief technology officer for these kind of activities. But yeah, it is. I would say that the chief information officer has the burden of making sure that everything related to the data, including the security of the data, let's say, the access to the data and the governance of the data is well taken care of. So these are the main duties of a chief information officer.
It's very interesting. It seems like there's many, many more roles that are coming up given, the onslaught of technology and AI. So can you tell us how has the CIO role changed across the last 3 decades? It's been here for that long, right?
Yeah, I think in the 80s, I would have. I mean, I wasn't there, but I would expect that a CIO was very, very helpful for players like financial services companies, or companies where they have a lot of data that needs to be managed, and they always had that. But I would say that the evolution of cloud computing really had a big impact on the development of and the evolution of the CIO role within the company. So the migration of the data on the cloud, wireless communication, big data, these are all the big tectonic shifts that changed and evolved the work of a CIO. Now there is AI, so there's gonna be further evolution, right?
Yes, indeed. So please explore how is the CIO for AI management?
Well, it must be said that I would expect that in the near future there is going to be a new type of executive that is fully dedicated to AI. I don't know, chief AI officer or something like that. But I would imagine that at the moment a CIO in big companies is also taking care of. They are also taking care of AI. So when we're talking about data analytics and big data, um, you know AI is creeping into that area of the business. So for the moment, I think the CIO is overlooking all the AI development, all the implications of AI in different parts of the business, which we know already are huge. And it's not only about tech, it's also about compliance, it's also about ethics, it's also about legal. So it's really a 360 degrees role, what we call now Chief AI Officer, essentially an officer that has to liaise with everybody else in the company.
That's very interesting. And I must say, it must be very informative for the students that are listening. If your interest is in technology, it's in AI, but you want to be in business, this is a role that you can prepare and aim for. It's up and coming. And we know that a lot of the companies are really moving in this direction. So get yourselves prepared.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. And if you like other content, please